During distance learning, I was asked to complete the equity survey. My teacher said that I could not skip any questions even when I didn't understand them. One question asked us what gender file we identified with. I was very confused along with a lot of other classmates. A boy in my class asked my teacher if his mom could explain the question to him because even after the teacher explained it, he still didn't understand. My teacher told him that he was not allowed to ask his mom and that we could not repeat any of the questions to our parents. I want the school board to know how uncomfortable and nervous this made me. My mom always tells me I can tell her anything, but she also tells me I can trust my teachers too. Being asked to hide this from my mom made me feel very uncomfortable.
Minnesota teachers face massive backlash after fourth graders are told by their teachers not to tell their parents about equity surveys on race and gender. They are brainwashing the kids and getting away with it. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet we need to talk about brainwashing in schools. So this story has come out today, and it's currently circulating the internet, causing a lot of outrage, rightfully so, as people talk about manipulating kids. In other news, nearly 2/3 of American COVID-19 cases may have gone undetected, meaning America may actually be close to herd immunity. Just about to turn the corner and be way better off in this COVID situation. But we're going to talk about all that and more. Before we do, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for updates for more content, and please share this video with your family and friends. The only way that we stop things like teachers brainwashing children with critical race theory and woke progressive nonsense is to spread the word. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Introducing Voivod, Book 4. This is the true account of the forgotten hero Vlad the Impaler and his final battle against the Ottoman Empire. It's bloody, inspirational, and not politically correct. Read the true story of Vlad the Impaler and learn the real story of one of history's most elusive figures. Get the final book of this series by clicking on the link down below. And we're back here on the Daily Mail. Minnesota fourth graders are given equity survey on race and gender and are told by their teacher not to skip questions, even if they don't understand them, and not to tell their parents. Folks, this is one of the most creepy headlines that I've seen ever, but we already know that teachers have been doing this for a while now. Here it says, a class of fourth graders in Minnesota were told not to repeat the questions of their equity survey to their parents. Hayley Yasgar, a fourth grader, was very nervous and uncomfortable when she was told not to tell her parents about the survey. Many students reportedly did not understand some of the questions, even after they were explained by the teacher. The survey was conducted at Riverview Intermediate School, and teachers were informed by the Equity Alliance of Minnesota to instruct students not to share the questions with their parents. So this is one of those disturbing stories that have proven that yes, indeed, teachers are trying to indoctrinate children. And it's very scary because imagine this. There is never ever a good thing that comes from saying, "Don't tell your parents." Here the story says, student Hayley Yasgar addressed a school board member on July 19th and told them she felt very nervous and uncomfortable when her teacher instructed her not to talk to her mother about the survey. She also says she was not permitted to skip any questions, even if she didn't understand them, in a video of the meeting posted by Alpha News. One question said, quote, "Do you currently identify yourself as female, male, transgender, or something else?" And then they have here in parentheses, transgender people have a gender identity or gender expression that differs from their assigned sex. For example, they were born male but now identify as female. They asked this to fourth graders. Why are they asking fourth graders these woke, nonsensical questions? Why are they teaching kids critical race theory? We all know these people are left-wing activists who are woke, who are progressive, and who have drank the Kool-Aid. I honestly think that these people are Marxists because critical race theory is a Marxist ideology. For those of you who don't understand what Marxism is, it's communism. No joke, Marxism is the foundation of communism, as communism is the result of Marxist ideology. I identify as an attack helicopter. Where's my option? So here's what happened that sparked all of this outrage. A young boy in Hayley's class asked a teacher if his mom could explain the question to him. Yet the teacher denied the student's request, telling him he could not ask his mother and that the class was not to repeat the question to their parents. Many people would call this abuse. I would agree, this is abusive behavior. Parents out there need to be very vigilant and very aware of what their kids are learning in school. In other news, a breaking new study says that nearly 2/3 of COVID-19 cases in America may have gone undetected. Total cases could be close to 86 million. So what happened was, researchers from the University of Washington found out by testing data that America may be close to herd immunity. For example, in Virginia, they discovered that there are 80% of COVID cases in that state. What their findings suggest is that America may be nearer to herd immunity than anybody realizes, which is really good news. It also means that all of this push for the vaccine and blaming unvaccinated people is actually way overblown, because a lot of people probably already got COVID and already have antibodies. Of course, you want to talk to your own doctor and decide what's best for you. Now, this is very important because in places like France, the French government have implemented a law saying that health passes and health IDs are mandatory or else you go to prison. Here on the New York Times, France approves a contentious law making health passes mandatory. You know, currently riots are breaking out worldwide. People are getting sick of these lockdowns, sick of the pandemic. It is absolute chaos. Here, the story says, France passed a new COVID-19 law on Sunday that made health passes mandatory for a number of indoor venues as the country faces a fourth wave of infections. The vote came after days of heated parliamentary debates that lasted long into the night and protests against the measure in dozens of French cities. President Emmanuel Macron said on Sunday, "With the Delta variant, the epidemic is picking up again," adding, "My message is simple, to get vaccinated." About 40 million people, or nearly 60% of France's population, has received the first shot, but the number of new daily cases has risen steeply. So we're currently seeing the Delta variant spread throughout the population, and we currently have politicians blaming unvaccinated people for spreading the virus. However, this is very unfair. According to data out of Spain, for example, 60% of the people who were getting infected with COVID-19 were vaccinated. So it's not that the vaccine protects you from the infection. The infection is spreading nonetheless. This brings up a lot of points, really. I mean, I really think COVID as a whole is being overblown. It's a bit of hysteria. Think about the fact that the flu completely disappeared. And I recently tweeted about this on Twitter. But take a look at the following Twitter screenshot. Here we are with Urza Levant. He says, "If I'm understanding this right, the reason we had no flu cases this past year is because the PCR test used by governments across the world couldn't tell the difference between COVID-19 and the flu, so they called it all COVID-19. Am I reading this right?" And he links a cdc.gov paper. This, I believe, might actually explain why the flu disappeared. In other words, there's no way that the flu disappeared. Anyone with half a brain knows that the flu would not just stop existing. The flu is a coronavirus. COVID-19 is a coronavirus. If you're using a COVID-19 test, the flu might say, boom, you have COVID. I believe this is the reason that the flu disappeared completely from statistics, and this heavily implies that our data on COVID may be a bit inflated. There's basically crossover, and we basically called the flu COVID. But that, my friends, is pretty much the story. Things are getting crazy, folks. Pfizer and Moderna are currently doing a vaccine study on 5 and 11-year-olds. I don't know if that's the best idea. It really concerns me. But I guess we'll see, folks. All I know is that people are getting fed up with these lockdowns. They're getting fed up with COVID, and parents are getting fed up with all of this indoctrination in schools. Keep your eyes open, folks. Talk to your doctor, and we'll just see how this all plays out. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, support the channel by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar. If you join Patreon or Subscribestar, you will get access to a private Discord server called Fight Club. It's pretty fun there, kind of anarchy, so be sure to check that out. If you want to donate, visit DonorBox or send crypto. Links and addresses are down below. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.